let's see, 1, 2... Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Retech Corporation. After some problems with Portal Stories Mel, which I guess I'm just gonna have to record, not stream, I decided to go back to this. Mostly because it's a lot less effort. And it's not even stressing my computer at the slightest. Okay, so I'm going to go and ping someone because they asked for it. Unless they're still here. There we go. And that should be taken care of. Don't think I can actually get this screen any bigger, so I'm gonna start. Oh, never mind. Load. There we are. This is where I was. Good, that's great, He-chan. I had the pronunciations and I was gonna practice them for this, but because it's been so long since I streamed last, I completely forgot. Oh, great, and I also hid stream chat. And now she's not there. Fun. There we go. What's up anyways? So what? Why is it so great? No reason, really. Other than clubs, we have upcoming. Other than the clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council. God no. You should. I'm pretty sure it was mentioned earlier that she's on the student council. Sharp notifications. Oh, I see. I didn't notice the school had a student council. It's a very melodramatic setup, I thought. Though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure that the two of them know this because Shinzu looks a little embarrassed about it. And Misha. Okay. Now I wanted to know who was watching. And they're gone. It said someone was there and then they left. Isn't that fun? Okay, I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because she's... Okay. Already read that one. Susan, there we go. Retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Mish who has the voice, whatever she says. Who has the voice, whatever she says. Alright, He-chan, maybe you can join us. You can join the student council. they could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, one thing, we can hang out every day. Shoujo and I are both on the student council. Oh, really? Actually, Shu-chan is the president. Shu-chan. There we go. Shu-chan. You need to practice that. Shu-chan. The Shuzun and Mishita might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk to about this. Well, yeah, you know. No, I just noticed that Slime's still in the capture thing. As if reading my mind, Shuzun quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Mishita. Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because it would be obvious benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that. No! We admit nothing. I mean, Shi-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Well, yeah, but what if I'm lazy? Wait. Okay, so it says someone's watching on Twitch. It won't tell me who's watching on Twitch, but it'll tell me someone's watching on Twitch. Okay. Even without working to one school. Yep, it's true, He-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school? Well, sure. Being the only two people I've had the time to know besides the blind man that lives in the dorm next to me. Not blind man, blind student that lives in the dorm next to me. I can't tell if she's being genuine or she's just really good at acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then, joining the student council, Jen. Well, that's not an answer, but I guess... Wow, I just maxed my mic. It's not exactly me giving that answer, but I guess it works. Wait, no. Yep, that's right, though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. True channel is be candy now. You were betting on it. Hey, my life's not a game here. Well, you know, it is. But you can feel that it's not. Shu-chan seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. An aggressive glint in her eye returns. And let's play a game. I apologize if you can hear that vehicle going by outside. How about Rich Man, Poor Man, He-chan? I have no idea what the hell that is. If you lose, you have to join the student council. Oh, why not? Well, because you both have the same incentive there for the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but what it means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. You don't trust us. And what we would pull something so disingenuous. Sorry? You know, if they give me a choice somewhere in this, I might, have said, hey, look at that, I'll join the student council just to get you two to get off my back. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. I know what paper football is. Well, duh, of course it's played in America. You make a paper triangle, and then you try and shoot past the goalpost, and the other player makes with their fingers. If you miss, you must... the best point is the person's not supposed to hold it in front of their face. They're supposed to hold it off to the side, because if you take the football and it gets through, it's going to smack you in the face. And then people are dicks and put paper clips and staples in them. And that's how they got banned from my school. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people. No, there's plenty of others. There's chess, checkers, book throwing contests. Of course, people frown upon the last one. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shuchan, which means the game really separates boys from the men. More like the boys from the side of the older boys. Anyways, I'm not gonna play that either. Oh, go and continue being a dick character. I'm your conscience. Just say yes. They'll get off your back. Sure, it's a lot of effort afterwards, but maybe, just maybe, you can quit partway through, or they'll fire you. Either way. I would say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me to join the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. Well, as I've been informed, the Asian schools actually have them do something, unlike in my school where they get to pick pathetic things like the theme for prom and the class colors, which is why we ended up with class colors of this school, of our one of our competing schools we were against. A much better school that for some reason feels like throwing their money around like no one's business. If you've ever seen any of the schools, which for some reason have a massive main hall with a lot of glass windows, making it a very hard room to heat. Bad choice for a cold state. I've never been on one before, or even known anyone that's a member. Well, that means you have very poor interest in your school. But I also kind of like the only two girls you know in the school. I wonder, should I think with my brain and, you know, maybe try and keep the two people that actually have talked to me happy? Or should I, you know, go and do other things like sit in my room, stare out the window, maybe read a book? I, of course, would choose to sit in my room, stare out the window, and read a book, but, you know, I apparently don't get say in this. No. I'm gonna say no to this one. I would have been fine with the paper football. I'm still curious about what rich man, poor man is. But Risk, God no. I don't have that many hours. What kind of books have you been reading? That you don't have any idea what a game called Risk is? I wonder if Mrs. E is actually the one there. I'm going to pull up this and go see who's there manually. Also, I need to message her to make sure she's there. Which would be tough. In case there's only one person watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, I do stream these occasionally, which is where they come from, and why they're so poorly handled and managed. Oh, I just noticed the problem with what I was doing. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna open this. I would have played audio, and that's bad. Open dashboard, which doesn't automatically play audio, which is much better. I like to be able to appropriately greet the people that are in my stream. Okay. And there we go. Put this back over here. Okay, give me a sec. Told you to exit state, yes. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna close Discord as well now for you. There we go. There we go. Those are lies. This whole statement is lies. Yes, she would. She'd kick your ass at it. Mostly because she probably actually knows how to play. She probably plays with the horse units. Oh, hi, Mrs. E.
LOL.
If you want to play, we can play after school. Yeah, and no, we're not playing Risk. Not at all. I'll just join the student council instead. Come on, player. Character, you need to listen to me. Just join it. It will get them to stop trying to get you to play games like Risk. Or games that are actually more interesting. Like the one I don't know about. Or Paper Football. I really shoot Chan. Can we play it just for fun? Can we play it just for fun? Hey Chan, Su-chan hasn't played it in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached. Well, don't agree. Don't agree. Damn you people who made this fan game. We'll see you after school in the student council room, then He-chan. Wait, why there? It's because it's where they keep the game. Of course it is. It's not like they invite you into their bedroom to play the game, or they'd come up to see yours. Your very, very empty bedroom. I promise to tell them how much I do not like this. But it's not for sure. But it's more for show than anything. And I agree, but only after getting Shoujo to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete by accepting to look around and play the game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon classes, the long girl comes back, sits down in her seat without a word. Yeah, you can just throw her on the screen, then drag her off to the side, because that's what you do with characters that you're trying to make sure people know about. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Mishta about it, but I don't want to be nosy. Just ask, dude. So, the girl with the long purple hair, what's up with her? Instead, I'm going out to play Risk instead of asking about... Okay, I guess. After school, Shoujo and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. Wow. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break. I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they are on their guard. What's with the escort? I mean, This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're going to go play a game of Risk, remember? Is Risk code for something that I don't know? I don't know, Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking, then we sit down to play the game, they tie me... I start thinking when we go to sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council, which you could have just agreed to! Why don't you just give me the choice to end this? Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be just so plausible. Getting to the student council room is simply turning 2 corners from where we started. You know, you could give me spatial recognition, like, oh, we took a right and a left, oh, we took 2 rights, meaning that it's adjacent to where we started. We could have taken 2 lefts, and it's adjacent the other way to where we started, but since you panned to the right, I'm guessing it's at least to the right. But then where? What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Jen. Shu-chan says that when their lives are threatened, people have the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Yeah, but where would I go? It's not like I can leave the ground. You would find me at some point. Being student council president, I'm pretty sure you might be able to get access to where my room assignment is. Life is threatened? Well, that's another fair point. Why would my life be threatened by a game of Risk? Her expression unchaining, Misha signs something amusingly to Shu-chan, who makes a baffled face and puts her hands behind her back. Baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums surely. Stop that! I know you can hear me. You have no excuse, unlike Shu-chan. Not Shuzan. That's Shuzun. There we go. Shuzun. Opens up the door in the student council room. It's very plain, very sparsely decorated, although it's quite large. Maybe even larger than a classroom. It looks just like a retooled classroom, because it's just basically replacing the head desk with student council with a it's not a teacher's desk. That looks like a science desk where there's a protection so things don't splat onto your legs from the table in front of you. And the rest just look like normal tables, but 3 chairs are stuffed in there to try and fit as many people as possible. But I'm gonna put a bet on there's not that many people in here, and even if there are, you're not gonna be introduced to many of them. So I'm up to 2 people. And thank you for being here. So Shuzun, okay, I read that part. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, a smaller desk, prominent place in the back. I assume big table.
LMFAO.
by chairs and small desks approximately placed in the back. I assume is Shoujo. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side. Extras, perhaps. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets, bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. I could have sworn he just said that more than once, or did I misread? Have much else to offer, not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. Yeah, right here in the corner. Right here. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Is no one else coming today? Yep, that's right. Yeah, this doesn't make this situation even more suspicious. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shoujo claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play the game of Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Technically, I could just leave, go back to my room, talk to my very weird neighbor. I'm sorry about that noise. That is an alarm I'd set that I'm going to have to start disabling because I'm now streaming at this time of day whenever I get the chance. Let's play a game of Cross. You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? Yeah, I have 4 hours for you to explain the rules of Risk. Omisha's stocking, Shoujo takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. It's not. There's far more interesting. There's a game I know of about connecting train routes between locations. It's more interesting than Risk. Monopoly is more interesting than Risk. I'm working through a list here. Of course, Connect 4 is more interesting. Matter of fact, it would probably be a more appropriate game. Tic-tac-toe would be a more appropriate game to determine whether or not I join the student council. Or maybe you just bring up 2 boxes. One says join the student council. One says keep resisting. Not one that says no, just ones that says keep resisting. Because I know, of course, you're going to end up joining. Because, of course you do. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking, running through the basics with some vague and confusing tutorial, Shoujo cuts in and declares the game has been started with a decisive motion slicing her arm through the air. Shoujo's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. You can drop the word, the to part, rubbing off on me. Well, I can see how that can actually be viewed as a... Okay, fair point. Innuendos. Anyways, I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway through the game, while I try and ponder how to defend against Shoujo's assault, from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Of course, this is just a discussion medium in order to join. I was really hoping it'd just be conversation, because if it was me trying to actually do any just choices and Risk, I think I would lose horribly. Nichan Suchan wants to know why you're taking wants you to know that you were taking too long to make a move. Shoujo also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. Wow. Just take the deal. I thought this was a game, no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. Wow, you competitive little. I just accept I'm gonna lose when I play games. And anyway, no. Shoujo admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shoujo. That's not competitive, that's just being better than you at a game that she's obviously better than you at. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the school student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Wow. She is... It's possible she has a learning disability? Maybe? Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shoujo. Returns signs back to Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shoujo bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shu-chan. Yi-chan really says you're going to lose. It'll crush your world empire. The world empire with my rebellion. Okay. And those eyes of hers shine with a childlike mischief. Really? Then you give me a choice. Fun. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Okay. She has a point. Attack her aggressively. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. Yeah, duh. You're still gonna lose. Your defense set up. I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyways. Of course you were going to lose. You're dealing with a person who the main voice in their head is their own. Shoujo adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself a tentative fist pump into the air in celebration. And Hee-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Su-chan, not me. Getting control of North America was ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts. You must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition. Okay, I have a feeling she's disappointed in me for playing the smart play and continuing to try to defend myself, knowing the end was near. Knowing that if I had tried to play aggressively, I still would have been crushed if I'm just defending Australia. If all I have left is Australia, trying to defend it is easier because you can try and make it so the only front she can come to you through would require her to go through the middle of Australia, which is hell. But when you switch to playing defensively, gain small advantage. It's no good, Hee-chan. You didn't take enough risk. Oh, the pun in that. And you didn't follow through. That's terrible. Damn, what's up with her? What's it to her if I played too carefully? Don't need to rub it in my face. Oh, and now she's not. Oh, there's one of two things. This is either a play, or she actually means that. I don't know which is darker. If she actually means that, or if she's using it as a play to try and get me to want to join. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up. Just like this, I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shoujo trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't take that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at the other clubs yet, and these two are a little weird. Hey, don't go doing that. You've got a heart problem. Don't go being judgmental. Stop being a dick. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Lee-chan, you're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah. I'm just not sure what I want to do. I'm just not sure that I want to. My statement makes more sense. Aww. We're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. I would have just accepted it to stop being pressured and to avoid playing Risk. And we could really have fun. We could play more Risk. Maybe one day you could beat me unless you graduate before that. That does not make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Surely you're not that horrible at board games. I am. I've only won one game of Monopoly in the times I've played it. And that's only because everyone else quit. I might have just said to make them feel better after all. Oh, that's cold. Yes it is. You glance at the clock and you realize you spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Well, yeah, it's a very long game. I'd recommend playing Europa Universalis instead, or Hearts of Iron, or another game that's essentially the same basic concept, but controlled through a computer, and you can put other people to stand in the way of your opponents. And take a glance. Expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shoujo scratches her head and gestures at Mishita. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shu-chan. I think the library is open. It's on the second floor, you can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay, I'll see you tomorrow. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a copy of the third one. Of course, wide and plain like only hallways can be. The problem is the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter, and choose my direction at random. After I turn around a corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open though either, it's barely ajar, so you can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be violently open. Well, this one is not quite that, it's good enough. Which at least that means someone's inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if it's groaning from a deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even farther inside, I gain the side of the room as fast as possible. The meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Ah! This is not what I was expecting. I'd say so. I honestly let the door open to its full extent, taking sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway and just staring at the beautiful girl. You know, I understand you can compliment them all as much as you please, but, you know, when you start describing them as weird as well, you're kind of on shallow grounds and you sound like a little bit of a creep. Okay. Evidently, taking her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of her, the movement of her lips seems to break the silence rather than her words. Whether it's the soft measure of the voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Okay. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid my eyes on, but even among the foreigners I have met, she is strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm an intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards the other seat opposite her, the girl resting her teacup and saucer on the wooden table between table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling, and the slight cloudiness in her eye means that she's at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Oh, judgmental and racist. As I take a seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I take it you're the new student to Yakamura? Whatever. Insert school name here. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get a distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of that action. She's blind. I'm Lily Satu? Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives me a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Why would you just take a drink? As much as it came to me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. Well, I wouldn't be so concerned about that. I probably would have asked for the libraries by this point. She gives me a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Words. Without another word, she steps off. She gets off of her chair, up from her chair. Any of those would make more sense than steps off her chair. It sounds like she's standing on her chair and pours a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, brush here, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she follows a dozen times before. Yeah, she is blind. The fact that she's the one getting the cup of tea to some people might seem like you're trying to offend her. But to be honest, letting a person who has a disability do things themselves actually helps them feel better about their condition. As I lean sideways to see around, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have. It's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shuzun and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I've never thought of. I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work. Don't. She seems pleased to be following the correct process of preparing the drink. So, her voice brings me out of my silent observer. Which room are you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shoujo and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. Small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakimishi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3. No? That's right. In the science room with Mr. Muto. She gives a small giggle over setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I can imagine you've come to like him. Most do. To be fair, it's been 2 days. Hey look, an actual scene that shows my character in the side. As she sets down on the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. Of course, tea is awesome. I hardly think it'd be hard to... The word don't would fit here much better. I don't think it would be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. Thank God, someone with a normal name. I shouldn't say normal, because that's technically racist, but a name I can actually understand. She does this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, but it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes? Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagami. It is specifically for both blind people, blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the Fox Boss. You know, I would have used the conversation piece of, oh, so like the person who has the dorm next to me. And then I'd mention his name. And most likely he would be on the list that'd be in this classroom. Ta-da! A point of conversation. Someone else I know that she knows. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. Inexperience, lack of understanding, mild racism. All these would be appropriate. Newness seems a little inappropriate. An environment like this would be a very big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would seem to include her. It would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic. I segue into another one. Do you come here to drink tea often? It is a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her vision of the place behind her version of the place behind the school that I like to have at lunch. I come here often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave me enough time for an official club. So a friend and I use this room for having tea. I wonder who that friend could be. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shoujo, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. Shoujo is blunt and fiercely driven. Lily seems relaxed and calm and almost aloof. Well, to be fair, they have almost opposite impairments. Come to think of it, she might be useful. Useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular clubs are the ones like track and field, can't do that, which uses field near the school during lunchtime. The baseball club can't do that. And the book club in a room near the library. Well, you know, that's the one I want to join. There's also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs. Two things I probably could do. At the same time, I'm wanting to get my feet. Rushing into a club right away, seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, although it's encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact that it seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting the tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice a light coming through the room as this distinctly orange tint. You have been here for hours. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Time has gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the setting sun. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise to her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Oh, sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to the liar concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shoujo when I had the chance, but Lily seems more likely to know in any case. True, it's open till 6:30 on weekdays. I quickly glance at my watch, which confirms I have enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, I shall show you where the library is. I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigations fail me, which they seem to have them doing. It's alright. I was going to talk to the librarian there. In any case, I could introduce you. This gets better and better. I have a pretty hard time denying your offer. Yeah, accept it. If you're sure, that would be great. Thanks. She stands up to follow me, takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. the cane the boy in my class had. Lily looks much Minner's looks thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. At my pace, carefully slowed to my chairs, we slowly walked through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor. Center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile and gestures, taking the lead as we file in. Oh, I think I double-clicked. To the left is the wooden library encountered. To the left is the wooden library counter with library propped. The library proper being on the right. Easily dwarfs my old school's library with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old world air. There seems to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in school grounds or the dorms. Yoko? I think, Yoko, are you here? She says in the thin air of the library and doesn't seem to be present. Of course, Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah! The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained, failing an attempt to sound casual as she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped my eraser on a desk, and while I was looking for a pencil, when I was looking for both of them, you came in and surprised me. It's a case of poor timing. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't have known. It's okay, it's okay. Sorry for making you worry. It's nothing, I've had far worse happen to me. She quickly clicked to reverse Lily's apologize, most frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head into the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. Girl fidgets with her finger as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. And then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the two imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but missed her celebration partially for managing to change the topic. I'm sure she notices me from the counter, in the corner of her eye, and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. Why she quickly shifts her mood's a little unsettling. He's with me. Hey, Yoko. This is Hisao. Shao. Okay. A new student. Hisao, this is Yoko, the school's librarian. Pleased to meet you. Alright, Pleased to meet you too, Hisa. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind, so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books for me in Braille. Books in Braille for me. There we go. Would you like to tell Hisa a little something about the library? These innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. You silly, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. There's just so much responsibility. How is this any responsibility at all? I don't get her, but her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But so there's a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yoka seems to not exactly relaxed, but at least looks slightly less tense. And I think about a third or a fourth of the school's library is either in Braille or audio. It makes sense, given that all the blind students that would be here. That's only if it's only that, how come the library is so big in the first place? We get a lot of new books on a regular basis because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve them. Wow, I'm really feeling bad for this socially awkward librarian. It's so troublesome, they waste so much, I wish I could just quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us that she doesn't have to keep talking to me. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the book in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. A few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choices here. Normally the library sinks in. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there's a large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. As if the calm mood for the room I had tea with Lily snuck in with us here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle, find the collection of desks set up to study for personal reading. I go a little farther and I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. But the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk, either reading or stealthily napping. The back is pretty much deserted. I glance around to see someone I recognize sitting on several beanbags. It's a dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book and keeping it close to her face to make it look like she's really into it. From the way she's acting today, I had pegged her as much more delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface. Before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would to anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. This girl starts looking scared up at me, scared from under her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath the long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. So I made her own eyes. For a second I'm shocked and divert my eyes to the book in my hands before realizing that looking away probably makes it worse. It takes a few seconds to collect myself and remember that I walked up to her for... Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl suddenly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I stay here? She seems very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit But she finally nods a little. Oh, okay. I take a seat next to her. She slides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. I've never heard of it. Well, it's a book about a guy that gets trapped on a boat with a tiger, if I remember. And, sorry again for starting you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We're in the same class. Her speech is tilted and so quiet, it barely is audible, even in the still library. I somehow think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Well, yeah. A little bit prejudice there, buddy. Hanako. There. I know this one. I've heard this one before said. It's Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name. I just have something to say, but really it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here is used to being different to each other, and I'm here being bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little in relief. So I try and read all the covers and introductions to the books as I picked up, as she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander in her directions. I sneak peeks at the flowing hair that the scars are hiding. And the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize she's doing the same, only pretending to be immersed in the life of Pi. Her gaze is not quite inquisitive at all, though it darts around like a scared rabbit. When our ears finally meet, a chain reaction is unstoppable. I've got to go do something. Without warning, Inigo takes off and wildly runs towards the counter. Like a hare Her hair like takeoff catches me off guard, so I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lee and Yoko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Did you ever notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What does she look like? Long, dark hair, kind of shy. She had scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading it. I think her scared her off or something. Oh dear, Yoko, would you excuse me? I better try and find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? But I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right. I'll see you later then. Lee hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, and leaving me alone with you. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? I was just looking for some books, and then she misfit and ran off. Wow, that's a poor description of the situation. The most offending thing I can think of is that I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around here. She's very jumpy. I think she's not accustomed to talking with other people. That's a little bit strange. I wonder. It's just how she thinks. How she is, I think. And it sounded all convincing. Then again, maybe it's just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casual makes me feel phony. Like I'm supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yoko fidgets, looking as if she wants to say something, but resists it. I think it's only an elephant if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint, which makes me smile. She blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me. It's more about me than anyone else. Anything to add? So Yoko fills the silence with shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? It should be closing soon. I mean, the library should be closing, but... the library should be closing, but I have to do it. So I hope I'm not too inconvenient here. Oh yeah, I want some books. I left them over there because I'll just go get them. You know where Hanako? We're sitting and return to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I kind of started reading books to fill the time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else, and I just checks the books out for me. I guess this is what they call tact. When I have books in one arm, I roll through my pockets for the key to my door. The sudden sound from behind me startled me, making me immediately drop my books I'm carrying, or the key. I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who's talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be really friendly mood, although the light glint off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. His voice suddenly strained quickly. Yes, we met before. Yesterday. Well, I only met yesterday. I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? You live across the hall, you're Kenji. His eyes filled with uncontrolled fear. You have met, or you're telling the truth, or you... And I can't just remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me. I try peeking into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything. Dart around me, trying to peek in my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those big glasses. From friendly to maniac in less than a minute. I'm not a psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. He points a finger at my face. Damningly. Unlike you. Stop that. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can... Because I'm legally blind, you're sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real. Is real slim. Maybe at a distance, but you think you are. My shoulders and shake them exasperately. I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. When it comes closer, I stand still as he assaults me with it. I stand still lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. I sigh again, then once again for good measure, I step back just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good. Is something wrong? I don't know. Just something stupid happened to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people here. I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. I'm really sorry about I'm calling you psychic spy and all, but you can't be too careful. So he's mostly blind, forgetful, and a little bit psychotic. It's a hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, this is how the world is. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win because I don't lose the lesson. What does that mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly in a wave of his hand. What's wrong? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. Was it my fault, really? I think I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl, a cute one. Cute's a hard question. Wow. She had a nice body. This guy is a dick. And really beautiful hair, but the face, wow. Judgmental. I think she was cute. Yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it. There's a lot of cute girls here. Strangely disproportional amount. It's almost like it's a dating sim meant for men. I believe this is one of those dark secrets of this school. Tried to warn you, man, but you didn't listen. I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. So it's not exactly dark, as it is just void of light. Have you noticed the number of girls in this school slightly up, but significantly out or higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. Well, let's see. I've met you. There's me. There's our teacher. There's the nurse. Then there is the two girls I've met. The two girls I actually know. Shoujo and Hisao. Then there's Lily, who I just met. And there's Hanako and the librarian. So that's 5-4. He turns his head left and right and stares off in the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but it's like a full 20%. To be completely honest, I would rather have a majority of girls in my school to a majority of guys, because that means a lot of guys will be, you know, competing to try and impress the same girls instead of for the other way around. Anyways, one would think a school with such a large pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. And are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I wouldn't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I don't think it's this far turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking and showing that he really doesn't care if my mind is blown or not. Oh my god. Okay, so Kenji is extra delusional? I believe this school is battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. Okay. The disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. And in case this Cold War turns hot, they really have superiority in numbers. The forces... They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. And it's not a 60-40 split. It's only a matter of time. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up of military is always... Okay. I'm just gonna probably let him ramble on. Perfect. Oh, hell no. Hey, what the hell does that mean? You said it, not me. So, you're not supposed to say something. Where was I? The fan saying, stop it. I lost you way back in there somewhere around the feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow. It's cool. I have some grass and stuff in my room and puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. That's okay. He speaks energetically response before I'm done talking. He moves his hands in an animal way and continues to rant on. This is too strange. I am pegged for relatively normal, but clearly I was wrong. I pegged him as being weird from word go. In your mind, dude? I'm just thinking. Last day, man, in an insane world. He frowns, looking deeply upset. I mean, that's you. You mean that's you. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's extremely late. At some point in that conversation, I would have hit my head against my door and said, "Ow," and then tumbled into my door and slammed it shut. Sure, it may mean he calls a nurse. Nurse, and I have to explain myself, but it means that I get out of the conversation. He claps me on the back, then vanishes into a room so quickly and quiet it's like he didn't even open this door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I only wish. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax, and I get up. I get started on my homework. It's because the sheets are cool and conforming against my cheeks. It feels so good just lying there with my eyes closed. School is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island, isolated, laid on top of a mountain. Isolated on top of a mountain, and each strange person stranger than the last. I can't seem to fit in. What irony one would think that fitting in a place like this is made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help me take the edge off. The words leave an echoing off my empty walls. It's not as bad as I expected though. This place really is more of a school and less of a hospital pretending to be a school than I thought it'd be. Okay, I'm hitting my limit here. I'm going to be calling it and saving here. So I'm going to save. Create new. I'm gonna quit. Now the screen should go black. I will switch on display 1. Turn off that. And slam rancher. I'll close that. Well, thank you for joining me for that. I think that was longer than I went last time. And I'm betting a few places in there I skipped lines and got quiet and stuff like that. But I'm overall actually enjoying this game, and it's something that's fairly easy to stream. Thank everyone that joined me on the stream, and thank you everyone who's watching this on YouTube. However many of you that is. I haven't checked recently. But, thank you, and goodbye.